So welcome everybody. To start off, my league starter was Cast on Crit, Purifying Flame, Inquisitor, and that did me well enough to switch to this for my second character, which I'm reusing the Volcanus, but I'm actually an Aurastacker using Saqawa's Tornadoes or Saqawa's Twisters. 4.2k energy shield, running Determination, Vitality, Haste, Purity of Elements, Purity of Ice, Herald of Ash, Precision, Herald of Purity, Discipline, Defiance Banner. We're using Ashes of the Stars. Couple reasons: reservation, level, and quality. So we have Phantasmal Haste, giving us 12% faster debuff expiration or buff expiration, which affects Avian's Flight and Might, so they're going to expire 12% faster. Along with that, it's multiplied by our aura effectiveness, or effective auras on us. So that's around 24-25% right now. Only have about 100% to hit the break point for doubling the purities, except I'm still leveling that. It's a lot of work in progress for this character. Yeah. This belt here was really nice. It's got like 60 chaos resist on it, which is sufficient. For my tree here, you can see I still have to do Uber Lab, but that's a kind of a pain right now. I'm gonna put that off till later. Avatar of Fire, because Volcanus. Chance to cover enemies in ash is pretty nice. Some Fizz's Fire, because that's, I mean, I guess I could go with the region. That might help with the Righteous Fire a little bit. But mostly, since we have Inquisitor, we have a little over 200 strength. Iron Will is pretty decent here. We go for reduced duration, reduced skill effect duration to get more tornadoes out. Pretty straightforward for that. The usual reduced mana reservation stuff, and we have Champion of the Cause anointed. For our cluster here, I've got Doriani's Lesson, Cremator, not doing Smoking Remains here because I just needed to get through to use 2 Purposeful Harbingers. Still deciding what exactly I need here to make this build work. Gonna go for Arcane Will in a bit. I'm using a Mantra of Flames, but I'm pretty sure that was just good to start. I should switch this out with probably an Energy Shield, Crit Multi-Jewel. Anything else? I can grab this Aura Effect node again, considering I'm above 100%, so I don't need this to keep the 100%. But if I want to go a little bit higher, I might as well take this. Needed some dexterity. Watcher's Eye right now is haste and precision. That helps keep up the bismuth flask, considering we're actually using melding of the flesh, which is also pretty common. Our resistances are pretty well. I mean, cold is good, lightning is okay, fire is trash. We're running Righteous Fire. So between Coruscating Elixir and the Bismuth Flask, we can run that given our Ivory Tower and Zealot's Oath and Doriani's Lesson. What else we got? The plan from here is, if I can get some corruptions on these time clasps, that could be a little bit better. If I can get a corruption on the Ashes of the Stars, that would be pretty good too. Preferably a Purity. An enchantment for the helmet, preferably Reservation. That would help quite a bit. Like one of the 50% aura reservations. I mean, I do need enchantments pretty much everywhere. I don't think I have a decent enchantment. I could go for a corruption here as well, because I don't need the extra 12% resist. I'm pretty sure once I have my flasks up, it should be good. Corundum Flask pretty much keeps us not getting stun locked. We do get stunned every now and then. That's pretty much it for a good description of the tree here. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into a Carcass map here. Probably not the best display. I'm only doing Carcass because I haven't completed the map yet, so I might as well get it for completion. Players with Curse of Vulnerability, I'm going to be squishier, but buffs on players expire 70% faster is technically a positive in this case, because again, we're trying to make Avian's Flight, Avian's Might expire faster. So, cool. I'm going to go and jump in, and I'll put Searing Exile on. Gonna pop these 3 flasks, and then we're critting enough to where actually is Twisters? There. We have about 62% critical strike chance without power charges. We can keep up all of our flasks from just critting. So this is how it's gonna be. I'm slower proj right now? I am on slower proj. There we go. There we go. Sure. Neat draw, let's just tricorn. Every now and then we hit a zone where we take a lot of damage, which we do have to fix up our defenses for that. Some more R effect will help since we'll get our defenses higher. Wow, that's a really laggy spot there. That was because of the Harbinger and the pack here. Okay. Yeah, so build's still a little squishy. Granted, I did have I was affected by vulnerability there, which is not the greatest choice here, I guess. One thing nice about all this reduced duration is lightning warp is almost instant. Let me just rush to the boss, I guess. Maybe if I don't get distracted by everything. But anyway, for progressing this character, I've hit sort of a wall in terms of offense and defense. And the best thing to do, in my opinion, would be to find a way to get some more money before pushing forward here. I should actually switch to slower projectiles here. So boss damage is actually pretty decent when you switch to slower proj. So one thing I forgot to show was my current Atlas tree setup here. I'm expecting the strong boxes, more maps, Legion, Harbinger, Kirak missions, which I'll probably drop once I get most of my points. Kind of coming here towards backup cache, the only one I really think might be useful in this entire thing, because it's going to duplicate currency, not just in Arcanist, but all strong boxes. And this point right here is pretty nice just for an extra 10 quant. If I do drop these, I'm gonna have to probably make this way around right here. It'll save me about 3 points in total. 3 points can move towards maybe Spoils of War, get additional rares. I don't really know what to do there. I could move towards Betrayal if I wanted to. Like just towards the start maybe, or I don't know, I'm having fun with Harbinger, Strong Boxes, and sometimes Legion. Legion doesn't really spawn that often, even though I have like 10% chance per map to get a Legion. I would expect to get it more, but I haven't gotten it. And so for upgrades on this character, what I'm kind of leaning towards is if I can get a Forbidden Flesh or Forbidden Flame, to either get some of the nodes from Guardian towards auras, or towards get what was it Hierophant, the Mono Reservation one. But it's gonna either way cost me 20 to 30 exiles just for that. If I want to fit more auras, I'm probably gonna need enlightens. Right now I believe we have an average of 30k damage per twister, so 30k, and that's about 5, so 150k average damage in total. Twisters are hitting pretty often, but I don't actually know how fast they hit, so I can't really say DPS, but 30k average damage per twister. We can take that up to about 50k if I could fit in Zealotry. In order to fit in Zealotry, I would need to move Determination to Mana, grab the 25% Mana Reservation efficiency for Determination, and then probably some Reservation Clusters. If I switch out from Ivory Tower to Chevron's Wrappings, I will lose a bunch of Energy Shield, but I won't be needing Coruscating Elixir, and I won't be needing Doriani's Lesson, so I can actually switch out this what do you call this, Large Cluster Jewel and Flask for something else that might actually help out more. Ideally I can switch this out for a Voices Cluster and then grab another medium, or just skip to a small, do another reservation one, and that might help. At some point it would be nice to get a bit more chaos resistance and curse effect reduction, but I don't think that's going to really fit in. If these points end up being not worth it, I can move those too. But as it currently turns out, I need all of the Mana Reservation I can fit in, unless I can get enough money for a couple Enlightens. It's going to be about 20 exalts each. This is so right now I've only spent maybe, was this 4 exalts? So 1 exalt in total for both of these. About 1.5 here, that's 2.5. This was cheap, this was cheap, these were cheap, this was cheap, this was cheap. Let's say in total there, 3 exalts worth of gear. And Watcher's Eye was kind of cheap. Melding was kind of, it was about half an X between these two. Probably another X. Oh, including the cluster. The cluster and these two, about an X. I'd say about 4X, maybe up to 5. But right now it's kind of budget. But in order to hit the next threshold, it's going to cost 20 to 30 eggs, which I don't know if it's worth it, especially since in the current state, I can't use any of the Eldritch currency because I'm mostly decked out in uniques except for my belt, and that's not going to work on the belt. So it kind of feels bad there. Other than that, I am working on a couple other builds here. In minion instability build with zombies instead of like SRS, and this is gonna be largely in thanks to the Ash the Stars amulet. Once I can fit that into the build, Phantasmal Raised Zombies makes them take, with the amulet, 50% of their life as chaos damage over 1 second. And low life is going to be 50%, so it just takes a second to kill them. We won't be needing the replica Arundel's scepters anymore, so then we can fit in other weapons. Might make it decent. And then the usual with Necromancer, you're going to want enemies near your corpses are chilled and shocked and then have increased life. +2 to the minion skill gems. That's enough to, it's pretty straightforward for this type of build. And on to a magic finder so that we can get some currency to fund all this, because it's expensive projects and I really haven't made much currency. Plan here is I've got 10% quant here, 5, so 15%, another 20, so 35%. I have 2 ventures gambles. What did I say? 10, 15, 35, 45, 55. I think that's pretty much it. 55 quant. I don't even have a bow. What's it even called again? Windripper. Where's Windripper? Right here. Windripper adds another 15% quant, so we'd be at like 65%. And then I do have a Melonius mechanism, which was surprisingly cheap, around 65 chaos. 60, 65, I don't exactly remember. Anyway, I'm working on this. Maybe I can get some currency here. Hopefully that's not a mistake. I've got these two. I'm using my Eldritch currency here. Anyway, I'm building this as a raider to get elemental status avoidance plus spell suppression cap. And it's easy. The placement in the tree works out pretty nicely for this too. No cluster jewels, just gonna be going Lioness Fall here. I think this character so far cost around 3 exalts. I've been trying to get good rolls and everything. So yeah, that's the plan proceeding on from here. Thank you for watching. Carry on with whatever you were doing now.